Hello friends of the electrified charging fun and welcome back to today's Two Worlds with the ENYAQ RS Coupé. And in this episode too, we will look at the everyday usage of this coupé. So we are here in the beautiful Swiss mountains. We are taking the car on a hike. We are taking the car on long drives over the highway, through the beautiful mountain landscape on the country road, through cities. We will check what will fit into the boot of this car and what this car is capable of when you use it every day. Because in part 1, we already showed you how good this is as a company car for doing business. If you missed this part, well, you can watch it afterwards. It's here on the channel. And now let's see how this car performs here in the Swiss Alps and in everyday life. I thought, why not integrate my typical test route of 158 kilometers within this video instead of making a separate one? Because this test route, and you know it if you are subscribed to the channel, if you're not subscribed, now's the best time to do it so you do not miss out any new videos and you'll find a lot of tests on this route. Well, this route is 158 kilometers here in the Swiss Alps. There's a lot of highway with 120, there's country road with 80, there is a motorway with 100, some cities we drive through and then small alpine pass. Let's have a quick look at the estimations of our route guidance so we can double check it when we hit those intermediate destinations. Davos with 58%, then Thusis with 56% and back home with 47% SOC. And we drive in mode normal. The climate is set to 21 degrees, outside it's 25, and most of the time I will drive with a travel assist in mode D. Sometimes, especially when we're going downhill here, I will switch over to mode B. Since this is an ENYAQ RS Coupé, we've got the 21-inch rims on it, the Vision RS with the Pirelli Scorpion Elect, the special electric summer tires. And of course you would be more efficient if you would drive with 20 or 19 inches. But to be honest, on a Coupé you need some really nice looking rims. And yes, they are. I have reached Davos and 26 kilowatt hours, 100 kilometers is not that good. I could have done better, but I like to drive a coupe a bit more dynamic. But the best thing is this, 60% SOC, 58% was estimated. Therefore, we were a bit lower in consumption. Thusis got corrected from 56 to 59 and back home now with 50 instead of 47. To be honest, if you've got a coupe that is equipped with a progressive steering, that is equipped with a DCC, that got 340 horsepower or 250 kilowatts, of course you want to drive that a bit more dynamic when you're going an alpine pass with all those hairpins and bends. And I did it and it was a pleasure. It is such a fun to drive that car up there. And you see it in the consumption. Sometimes you just want to enjoy. Because now we are at the utmost highest point of that route, so we got a lot of potential energy we will regenerate when we now drive down to Thusis. We're now in Thusis with 15.3 kilowatt hours, 100 kilometers. But if we look at the detailed data, I'll show you down here, we've just used 400 watt hours for 40 kilometers of drive. And there you can see all the magic of recuperation, regeneration, or regenerative braking to be more precise. And if you want to know more about that magic feature of every EV, I've got a video that covers this topic completely. So you might want to watch that. I'm back from my test drive and 14.2 kilowatt hours, 100 kilometers ain't bad. I did that 13.4 kilowatt hours ride with my SUV, but that was trimmed on efficiency. We still got 51% left in the battery, 50% was estimated. So in total, this is a good result for the circumstances given. There were 4 construction sites on the highway, each where it goes down to 80, so I couldn't drive 120. And on the country road on the Swiss Alps tour there were 2 construction sites with a traffic light where I had to wait 5, 6, 7 minutes, I don't know. And this adds up to that result. I bet I could manage to drive this Coupé RS version way below 14 kilowatt hours, 100 kilometers if I try to do it on efficiency. but for just a normal drive with a bit of fun in the bends on the path, well, that's quite a good result. Whilst we're here on the road in the wonderful Swiss mountains, let's talk a bit about the differences between the coupe and the SUV of the ENYAQ. And first thing, let's talk about design and image. And some of you might already complain and say this is not a coupe. And basically you're right. It has 4 instead of 2 doors. It's quite high instead of low on the street, and it's very heavy and bulky. So it's better to say it's an SUV with a hatchback instead of a coupe, because that's the only similarity it has with a coupe. Yet Skoda named it a coupe, therefore I am using this term for this car as well. And talking about design, I like how they designed this car. It looks gorgeous. It looks better than the SUV, at least from my perspective. Staying with the design, let's talk about the rims. We've got the 21-inch rims with the Vision RS on this car, and a coupe needs big rims to look great. Yet it is bad for consumption, as I already said. Therefore, I would take the compromise of the 20-inch rims, the Draconis, which could look really awesome, especially if you've got a Sportline or RS, as there are all applications in black, and the Draconis is also black. And talking about the design, let's move to the front of the car, as it got the modern solid look. And for me, the facelift suits the coupe quite well, much better than the SUV. This really looks nice. And talking about the RS version we are driving here, we have all the black applications, we have the additional applications for the air curtains in black, and a different shape of the air intake at the front compared to the non-RS versions. So next, let's move to the interior. And one thing you might think could be a problem is the passenger's space or the head space on the rear seat, because coupes normally lack that. And with the coupe here, with the ENYAQ, you don't have any problem at all. You have at least 1.90 m, I would say even 1.95 m as head space. And this is quite well. But it also comes due to the big glass roof, which again is a big difference to the SUV. You might ask now, doesn't it get much hotter in the car due to that amount of glass? And you can tell I have a sensitive head without any hair. I would feel any heat immediate. And I can tell you, even if the sun is coming now directly through the roof, I don't feel it at all. It's at ambient temperature. It's really well made. And since we are talking about glass, let's talk about the glass in the rear. The rear glass, you might say, well, coupe shape, so you are a bit distracted and don't have that great view through the mirrors when you look back. And yes, I have to admit, it's not as good as in the SUV. Therefore, I removed the headrest in the rear middle to see even more. And talking about the rear glass, well, there is no wiper attached to it, and you can't buy one optional. They removed it quite a while ago, so that might be a showstopper for you. But the view to the rear shouldn't be a showstopper at all. And since we are now already at the hatch at the back, well, if you open that hatch, it has really a big mouth, you see. If that is completely open and you do not limit it, well, it is close to 2.30 meters above the ground, which could become a problem in your garage or whatever parking lot you have. And compared to the ENYAQ SUV, this is nearly 25 centimeters more. I tried to measure it, and with the SUV it's around 2.5 meters, 2.8 meters. And here, within the coupe, it's 2.25 at least. Better go with 2.30 at its highest point. So maybe this could be a showstopper again for you, or you have to limit the space of that hatch. But basically, we have reached our hiking tour for today. We are going up there. Our dog also came here very happy, and now he is eager to go on the tour as we are. I don't take you with me on the tour. The tour is for us, for my wife, my dog and me. We are back from our hike, and the best thing with the Skoda EV is it is completely cooled down. And you can already hear it, but the car's is working, the AC is working, if you listen close. And despite the sunroof and the outside ambient temperature, within the car it is 20 degrees, and it also states this on the display. Yes, it was just a normal drive to prove is this car also capable for the leisure time, and of course it is. See here at the values we've got since start values here, so we have the drive there and back again. 77 kilometers, well, that's a typical journey you might do when you go into the mountains or into nature for a hike or whatever you prefer. 61 kilometers average speed, well, 80 kilometers on the national road, on the country road in Switzerland, so you're not constantly driving on the highway when you do something like that. Pretty normal. So yes, this car is definitely really good, usable for going on leisure trips, for going into nature. And yes, our dog, he's now on the rear seat because we can't put him in the boot. For the boot, you don't find a really good dog kennel for his size. His size is about an Australian Shepherd or a small Border Collie, and due to the shape of the body of this car, it is hard to find a dog kennel for this, and unfortunately you can't get this separator here, which you get in the SUV for the coupe directly from Skoda. That is really a pity. Let's talk about those shortcuts for a moment. If you've got an iPhone, maybe you know the app Shortcuts. Please excuse that this iPhone is in German, but I was too lazy to switch it over to English and have a restart of my phone. You have the My Skoda app in your Shortcut app. Here you go. And basically you've got 3 commands. They are already in English, so no need for translation. You can start climate control, you can activate honk and flash and the flashing lights. But the most important part is this one, and I hope they will add more, as you can do a lot of cool automations here. For example, let's add a new automation just with the daytime. For example, if you are always the same time on the way to your job, to the office, just use that time and add climatization. Or use your alarm clock. Let's say if you end your alarm clock and you want it directly executed and notified when done, yeah, start climate control. So start climate control. So after waking up, when you deactivate your alarm clock, well, the climatization of your car starts. Or another one, which I like, is leaving and coming home. Or what I personally also like is I'm working with those focus statuses here. I've got something like camping and hiking, for example, my own ones. And hiking I can use like this. When I am hiking and when hiking is deactivated, please directly climatizate my car. And now I only have to deactivate that status after hiking and the car will get climated. Therefore, I would really love to see more shortcuts here for the My Skoda app, because you can do a lot of automation without a smart home or anything else when using this. Let's have a more detailed look at the boot of the Skoda ENYAQ Coupé, because this is what a lot of discussions are about. What can you really fit into that boot? Because on paper it's only 15 liters smaller than the one from the SUV. First, let's take some measures, and when we look at the depth, we are here at the plastic part at 97 centimeters. I would say you can load up to a meter until the hatch won't close again. And in width, well, we are talking about 1 meter and 1 centimeter. And in height, you already see that the parcel shelf is removed. Then we are talking 48 centimeters below the parcel shelf. Let's talk about the parcel shelf. Here it is, and it's kind of wobbly. It's not really quality made. I would say it's rather cheap for a car like this. Of course, you can just attach it up here. Then you have these little cords to put it up here. Well, okay, see here, this is, it's okay. Well, I wouldn't put any heavy parcels on it. If you do not want the parcel shelf here because it's in your way, where to store it? A roller blind would be much better, like in the SUV. And the roller blind just goes away, or you can put it below. Well, you can't do this with the parcel shelf. the idea is to put it behind here. You see, it is loosely attached, yet it takes a bit of space and it can make some noises while driving. This car comes equipped with a transport package. You see it here. This is just 2 centimeters lower, and there you go. There is the big transport package, and we will have a look at the transport package and its size right now. Let's remove the cover here, the floor. Here it is, the mighty transport package, which is basically this insert and the net package there. And look at the sheer height of it. It's 15 centimeters high, so it takes up 15 centimeters of storage space. Yet you have those nice boxes here where you could put stuff in it. Of course, you can remove this. And when you do, you get plenty of more space in your car. And now see the difference here. We can even do the measurement. This is roughly 19 centimeters deep right now. But now comes a problem. You would now normally say, let's put back in the floor. And if you try, well, certainly it will fit somehow, but then you run into a problem. And I'll show you. Here exactly is the problem. The attachment of the rear seats is in its way. Here is no cut in the material where you could just push it forward. So you are here at an end, and therefore it does not close down here. You have to press, but even if you press harder, this is not a level floor anymore. Sometimes I get asked, what are these materials here, these pieces? This could be green, or sometimes it's just white, and it looks a bit odd, right? Well, this is something to measure moisture in the company, in the factory, in the manufacturing hall when they build the car. This is not needed afterwards anymore, but don't cut it away. Just put it there in those holes and leave it as it is. It's kind of annoying. They should take care of this in the factory, but yet still they don't do it. Let's do some loadout based scenarios with this boot. And the first one in everyday life is you're running errands. For example, your weekly shopping tour. And therefore I kept the configuration as is, with a parcel shelf attached and with the transport package. Just keep in mind, if you don't have the transport package, you already have way more space than here. And I put in this big box, another big box, and 2 baskets, and even have the basket here with the carrying grip upwards, so to see if this might close. Your coupe should come with 2 of those cargo elements you can use to fix things in your boot, to keep them in place like this. And now let's check if our boot will close with this loadout. And it flawlessly does. Even the grip from the basket is still in its place. Yes, it is. So running a weekly errand tour is no problem at all with the coupe. When you've got a coupe, you want to drive, you want to travel, because coupes are made for that. Therefore, you want to take your baggage or your luggage with you. I have several pieces of luggage here with me for demonstration purposes. And of course, when going on a business trip with a small piece of luggage like this, this is no problem at all. Even if you take the bigger one like this, you will see how easy this will fit. Even if you take a second one like this, you still got plenty of room. But what if you want to take even more? So let's put these like that. Put that next to it. And of course I've got a second one. Put that next to this. You will run into problems with the parcel shelf again. It's always the parcel shelf. See here, when I close it, you will see it will not close perfectly, yet there it is. It is too high. So those luggage pieces are not perfectly fitting with the parcel shelf. Yet there is an easy solution, as I already showed you. And keep in mind, I still got the transport package in that car. You would have plenty of more space without it. So after putting the parcel shelf in the back, you see the car closes with ease, and you still got room above. But what if you want to fit in another piece like this? This obviously will not work. This is too high, but you could of course try to put those upright and this one here in front. And now the bad news is this is just a little bit too high here. The hatch will not close. But as you can see, with a bit of tinkering, you get a lot of luggage within this car. And if you remove the transport package, you get 20 centimeters more space here above. So for traveling just without folding the rear seat, you have plenty of options. But what if you want to transport a bit more stuff? For example, those moving boxes. This box is 62 centimeters in width. This is 34 centimeters in depth, and the height is 38 centimeters. And if we fit that in here, well, we should be able to get 3 of those boxes in the car and even could fit the parcel shelf above it. Putting the parcel shelf back in place. As you can see, that works. And of course you can now close the hatch. But what if you want to put in more boxes? Well, with the transport package you will have no chance. Removing the parcel shelf and putting in a 4th box will showcase this. And you've got no way of putting that box in the car unless you fold the rear seats, which is a totally different story. But what if you do not have a transport package? So I've removed the transport package and put in those 3 moving boxes, and now you see you still got some room left here in the front and on this side for smaller boxes or stuff. And to put in the 4th one, well, this will not work. This is just too far out of the boot. And I even tried it in the middle. This will not allow the hatch to close. But of course, you can simply place the box upward standing like this and then close the hatch, and you will see this works like charm. And with this configuration, still there is so much room left for other stuff to store without folding the rear seat, as you can see. But what if you'd want to transport bigger stuff? Therefore, I folded the rear seat and removed the transport package. And of course, you've got a big edge right here. How should they make the seats disappear completely in that configuration? This is not possible. Therefore, this will never go away. But it's a total different story when you put the transport package in place. Because with the transport package, you are able to get a leveled floor. As you can see here, you already can imagine that this might fit. You've got a leveled floor. No more edges here. This has a small incline yet, but it doesn't matter. This is plenty of room, and therefore let's test it with this big box I have. And as you can see, this big box is no deal at all for the car. When I push it towards the front seats, it fits perfectly. But what if you want to go with even bigger stuff? Let's welcome the newest addition to all the stuff I can show you to test a boot, a mattress with 80 centimeters in width and 200 centimeters in length. And just putting it in like this, you see, it's a close one, but it does not fit at all. There is a bit of it out of the boot. But now let's adjust the front seat. And we only adjust the seat of the passenger first to see if this might already be enough, and see if we could fit that mattress now in. And there you go. The mattress is already stored in the car. You could close the hatch right now. And now let's have a quick look how this works out. You see, no problem here. It's safe and sound. And yes, the passenger seat, well, it's way toward the front. There is not much room left for someone to sit there, but that would be an easy way to even transport a mattress with a length of 2 meters and a width of 80 centimeters and its height, I don't know, 15 or 20 centimeters, something like that. And so it ends today's Two Worlds. And this video was all about everyday life. And for me, Yes, the ENYAQ Coupé is a well-rounded package. It is stylish, definitely. It looks gorgeous, even in a color I would not choose. And it is efficient, as you saw in my test drives. And you could drive even more efficient with this car. And it is agile. It is fun to drive through the hairpins and the bends on an alpine path, despite that it is rather large and rather heavy. Where there is light, there's a bit of shadow, and of course not everything was perfect. So I took a couple of notes what I did not like. And let's first talk about the sunroof. Whilst it is really great, brings a lot of light into the car and does not heat your head or the interior, nor do you have problems with direct sunlight, well, I would love to see a sunshade for this integrated in the car, especially when you pay that much amount of money, because we are here at way over 60,000 euros with an RS. Yet you have to buy it as additional equipment. Then it is based on 3 segments you have to put in a manual. That's a pity, that's a shame for me. And the next thing is the divider of your boot, because simply it's not available X works. You have to buy it from a third party. In the SUV you get that, here you don't get that. That's really a bit of a pity again. And next is easy open. Easy open should be easy, yet as you see, as of now it does not work. Sometimes it works, and when it works, the next big problem is when the hatch is open and you get too close here to the car, it immediately closes. Way too sensitive for me. But okay, it is as it is, and I hope they bring a software fix for that. Then the next thing, well, with the Sportline and with the RS, you only get the sport seat interiors. I wish at least for the Sportline they would bring up more design selections. Those sport seats are comfy, don't get me wrong, but I would love to see those comfort seatings as well, and maybe mixed with a Sportline. I can understand that they go with the RS with the sport interior, but that would be great. Another thing, you don't have an AC outlet at the rear anymore. You don't have that with the SUV as well, but that was quite handy, as an Europlug would fit in despite the fact that it only delivered 150 watts. This was a great addition. Now it is gone for good. What really annoys me a bit is here in the back, the parcel shelf. To be honest, this is just cheap. For a car of that price, this is simply just cheap. And with the SUV, the roller blind, much better. So I hope they will improve on this little thingy here. And whilst this is already open, the transport package here is kind of weird, because it's nearly 20 centimeters deep and takes up a lot of space here in the boot. And I don't know if I really like that. But if you do not have it, well, there's a big gap down here. So again, it's a compromise what you choose here. Another very important topic which is hard to discuss are the assistance systems, especially the travel assist. I don't have problems with them. I like the lane assist, I like the road sign recognition, everything that is combined into the travel assist, because I know of its shortcomings and how to handle them. So the best thing here would be for you to test it yourself. And now you can say, when you go through all of the list I have, well, you're splitting hairs there. And yes, you could see it like this. In the end, this is a great car which is useful in everyday life as well as a company car on business trips. But if you look closely at social media, at forums, or even at other videos, you will see a lot of splitting hairs. So I just want you to know what I think could be improved. But in the end, you get a pretty fine car here for every use case you have, as long as you can live with a hatchback. If you don't like a hatchback or need more space in the boot, then go with the SUV. And now I would like to know what you think about the Coupé. Write me down in the comments. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you want to support me, you will find a PayPal link down in the video description or an Amazon affiliate link. You can buy whatever you always wanted to buy. I get a small commission fee. You don't pay more. A great way to support me. And then I hope we see each other in the next video. And until then, stay full of energy.